Lon Nol was paralyzed from the stroke, and for 2 years he searched for treatments in the United States, in Thailand, Hong Kong, Taiwan. He went to Master Tung, and after 2 days he started seeing results from the treatment, and Master Tung was able to ultimately help him recover from his stroke. Hi and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the history of Master Tung's acupuncture and of Master Tung himself. Today's video is going to be a bit different than usual. Instead of looking at acupuncture techniques or at a clinical case like we usually do, I'm going to give you a small historical overview of Master Tung's acupuncture, who Master Tung was, how the technique arrived at the point that it is today, and a little bit of why we have some points that are numbered, some points that are not. So I hope that you enjoy this walk through history and this small change of pace for the usual channel content. The one most people know as Master Tung, or the last Master Tung of the generation, Master Tung Ching-Chang, was born in 1916 in Shandong, China. His father, Tung Sendong, was a very famous acupuncturist in the town and was at the time known as Master Tung. It's normal that you might see Master Tung referred to as Tung or Dong and written with a T or a D. This is a problem with the romanization of Chinese characters and Chinese sounds, and the truth is there's not really a correct answer. You can say Dong or Tung. There's no correct or incorrect answer. The last Master Tung Ching-Chang, worked as an apprentice with his father, and it was with his father that he learned Master Tung's family acupuncture style. Master Tung was a part of the Chinese army, and he fought in the last war against Japan, and he also fought in the Chinese Civil War, and he was aligned with the Nationalist Party, the party that lost, and this ended up with Master Tung being exiled along with most of China's Nationalist Party to Taiwan. Master Tung moved to Taiwan in 1949. In 1953, Master Tung leaves the army and establishes his first clinic in Taiwan, this was in Taipei, and starts building his fame, and he ends up being known as one of the best acupuncturists to ever live. His clinic in Taiwan had a lot of patients, he was very famous there, and he was also famous for treating a lot of the higher ranks in the political establishment of Taiwan. When he's called to treat Lon Nol, who was the Prime Minister of Cambodia, Lon Nol had a stroke and he was paralyzed from the stroke, and for 2 years he searched for treatments in the United States, in Thailand, Hong Kong, Taiwan. He tried every kind of approach from Western medicine to Chinese medicine, and nothing worked. Until he learned about Master Tung. He went to Master Tung, and after 2 days he started seeing results from the treatment, and Master Tung was able to ultimately help him recover from his stroke. And this is what ultimately established Master Tung acupuncture as one of the most effective styles of acupuncture ever, and also Master Tung as one of the best acupuncturists to ever live. But at this point there was still only one Master Tung, as it had happened for generations. In fact, we can trace the lineage of Master Tung's acupuncture up to the Han Dynasty in China, so for centuries this lineage remained pure. What I mean by this is you had one Master Tung for each generation, and then that generation's Master Tung taught his eldest son the techniques, and then he retired and we had a new Master Tung. So the father taught the technique to the oldest son, and so this style of acupuncture remained pure and inside the family. And the first time that the acupuncture style left the family was in 1966. This was as a response to mainland China's Cultural Revolution, where they were trying to repackage the classical Chinese knowledge, and as a response to that, the Nationalist Party in Taiwan created a movement to try and preserve the classical Chinese knowledge. And Master Tung took this as a calling to himself not to let his style of acupuncture die. So, for the first time, he accepted external students to the family. And so, from 66 until he died in 1975, Master Tung accepted a total of 73 direct disciples. What you can see here is an image of Master Tung's grave, and on his gravestone we have engraved the names of every one of his direct disciples. This was made at the request of Master Tung himself, so that after his death his original disciples would always be remembered, and it would be easy to verify who was his direct disciple and who wasn't, because he imagined that after his passing we'd have a lot of people claiming to be direct disciples. And as you can see here, we have a lot of very famous names. Some of them I've already talked about here in the channel. Hu Wenzi, Dr. Yang, we have Dr. Yuan Guoben, the Xuanmin Wang. So a lot of the great teachers that today spread Master Tung acupuncture, that write books, unfortunately a lot of them have already passed too, but they left themselves disciples that can keep the message, and that's a little bit of the work that I'm trying to do too. I was lucky enough to study directly with 3 Master Tung disciples. I studied with Dr. Yang, I studied with Xuanmin Wang, and I studied with Dr. Paulsenkassen. I was also lucky enough to study with 2 second-generation disciples that come from Dr. Hu's lineage. So I wasn't lucky enough to be born in time to meet Master Tung, but I was lucky enough to learn from a lot of his direct disciples. Now let's talk a little bit about how Master Tung taught in his clinic, which will explain a lot of the different opinions that we see regarding Master Tung acupuncture today. So Master Tung typically didn't teach classes. What happened is he would let his disciples watch him as he was working in the clinic. This is a very traditional way of learning in China, but it creates a lot of problems. And that's the reason why we have different disciples talking about different numbers of points, slightly different locations of points, and this is because they were learning by watching. So it's not the same as I'm giving a lecture and I'm telling you, well, this point is named this and it's located there and it's used for this, this and that. No, they were seeing a clinical case and see Master Tung use this point for this and that point for that. So if I was at the clinic for 5 years, maybe I would see Master Tung use the full 740 point list, but if I'm only there for a year, maybe I'm only lucky enough to see him use 300 of the 700 points. It depends on which cases I was lucky enough to see. And also it's easy to misinterpret the location of certain points. And this, in my opinion, is why there are so many small differences between different teachers when talking about Master Tung acupuncture. Now, talking about the numbering of the points. Master Tung didn't use numbers, he just used the point names in Chinese. And the first time that the numbers were introduced was when he wrote his book and when the book was translated to English, because for English speakers we were used to numbering the points from the meridians, so this was easier. Master Tung's book doesn't have the full list of points because this book was created from the first notes that Master Tung would give the students when they arrived at his clinic. So it gave him a summary of the most used points so they could start getting into the system, and this is what he published. And so today we have different schools, different books teaching different numbers of points. This is also due because different students, as I said before, were with Master Tung for different times, and that is why I love so much the school of Dr. Hu. He was one of the disciples that stood with Master Tung for the longest time, and he's one of the few that works with the 740 points and that teaches all of these points. And that's also why some of the points aren't numbered, because a lot of the points that Dr. Hu is talking about and is teaching and is using are not in the translated books, so they are not numbered. And this is a little bit of the history of how Master Tung acupuncture arrived to the point that it is today. I know this is different than what I usually do, but if you like this kind of content with more history, maybe a little bit more trivia on Master Tung or even on Dr. Tan or different Chinese medicine techniques, let me know and I'll be very happy to do a video on that topic for you. So let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.